Should we do it together?
Yeah, yeah.
On three.
On three.
1, 2, 3.
What up, fam?
Dude,
That was so good. Episode 31. Now that you know we're 31 episodes in, I'm pretty
over 20,000.
Yeah, over 20,000 subs. 31 episodes of this series alone in. Over 300 videos on the channel.
That's crazy.
I think it's safe to say we're set a good groundwork for this series, you know, to kind of propel itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited. We were talking about earlier how, you know, I kind of want the tone of this series to be similar to a podcast, more laid back, more just, you know, we're just talking, hanging out, chatting.
Some coffee.
Yeah, some coffee. You know, not that much editing. Not that you have your coffee.
Yeah,
cheers, mate.
Cheers. All right. My name's Justin as well. I am a student here at Cal Lutheran.
Fellow Cal Lu fam.
Yeah, I'm a junior this year. I work here in the VA office.
Works with us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I met Justin, 2 years ago now? In a sociology class, I think, was like when we actually met.
And you knew my sister?
Yeah, I knew.
We saw each other at parties too.
Yeah, just kind of bumping into each other here and there.
Yeah.
And then, but my background is, I'm a Navy dependent, so my dad's been in the service. He's been in the Navy for 38 years. He's still active duty right now. My mom was in the Air Force for 14 years, and then her father was in the Navy, and then my father's father was in the Army. So I come from a long line of,
That's awesome.
of military. So I grew up in the military culture. I used to move every 18 months.
So you understand the life, he understands the lifestyle, your whole life you've been in it.
Right.
You know, so you didn't, how I was only in the Navy for, 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was something you were experiencing, like you said.
Last 21 years.
Since for the past 21 years. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to someone about this the other day. Someone was like, "Wow, you seem really mature for your age and things like that." And I'm like, "Well, I kind of."
Well, dude, you got that nice beard, bro. That's a lush.
Dude, this is 23 days.
And you yourself were saying that you might think that you're definitely thinking about serving in some way or another.
Yeah, I definitely want to serve.
Whether it be
country, yeah.
Federal or straight military or officer.
I definitely want to do 4 years in the military.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Right now, I'm looking at the Coast Guard is my main thing because that's just
Coast Guard Chris.
Coast Guard Chris.
We're gonna have a second with Coast Guard Justin.
Yeah.
Or we'll have to get you your own catchy fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll think of something.
So I'm looking forward to.
Is that where you're leaning more towards right now? Is the
Coast Guard, just because they have a really good I like the CGIS program, which is like NCIS for the Navy.
Oh wow! And then that would fast track you straight.
Yeah, it's like detectives kind of thing. So I'm talking to a few recruiters right now. So we'll see. Navy's second option.
Of course.
Like I said, my dad was Navy. Of course, he wanted me to go Navy, and my mom was Air Force, and she wanted me to go Air Force. So I said, I'll meet you guys in the middle. I'll meet you at Coast Guard, and they said that's fair. So yeah, that's something.
And it's Homeland Security. A lot of people think the Coast Guard is part of the DoD.
It's not.
But it's a completely separate entity.
I can't remember how many years ago, but they switched from they were Department of Transportation.
Oh, they were DOT.
Yeah, and then they went to
Homeland Security. But now, guys, we're going to get into the question of the day. Mainstream is his name. He left a question yesterday. He says, "Why do so many veterans go homeless, or have a high chance to go homeless? Could that happen to me if I join?" He said he's kind of double questioning it now, joining, because of the homelessness.
Well,
I think that's a very silly. If that's the reason that would be holding you back, then I don't think the military would be
the best fit.
The best fit.
I'm not gonna. It's not the. I definitely don't think it's solely the military. I mean, a lot of those guys that you see out there, like we were talking about this earlier, is
the ones holding
the signs that say homeless vet and stuff.
A
lot of those guys are like the Vietnam era, like you were saying, and like we were talking about, they didn't get the welcome home. They were kind of shunned, like you said.
Yeah, a lot of the older vets that you guys see out on the streets, depending where you live, especially where we are in LA, a lot of them are suffering from a lot of mental. It's a mental health thing,
right?
Homelessness among the veteran community is, especially coming back from the Vietnam era, like you said.
And I'm not.
They were spat upon. They were shunned.
Right.
They weren't welcomed back with open arms like we were, with a plethora of benefits, of outlets.
Right. And I'm not going to say the military doesn't not. I mean, they do have resources and things, but shit does happen over there. I mean,
Yeah.
I've not personally experienced it, but secondhand, I've had friends who've gone in and come back, and different people. I mean, that some of the mental things do happen during their time in the military.
Of
but
course,
I mean, that's one of the things that.
Yeah, I haven't really talked about it. I haven't really talked about it much myself, but I do, have some anxiety issues, from my time in the service. But
then versus now, the
oh yeah, if I didn't, I can understand. I can understand how these veterans, the older veterans, they weren't getting the help that they needed. So to answer your question, that shouldn't be something that should be holding you back from joining the military. The risk of being homeless. It is mostly, an issue, like I said, with the older vets, with people not willing to go get help. And with, just a bunch of bad situations spiraling on top of each other. You lose your job, you're suffering from depression,
right.
You don't have a lot of family, you don't have a lot of resources, and then you're out on the streets. And once you're out there, it's hard to get... Right. I've read a lot of things, and I've heard a lot of things about that situation, and it's hard to get out of that hole once you're homeless, once it starts.
Yeah. It's like digging a hole deep, and
then
it's hard to get out.
It's hard to get out.
Dig too deep.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out for the show. Appreciate you, episode 31.
31.
Fellow Justin.
20K.
20K, the first name, I think you're the first dependent that we've had on here.
I'm honored.
I think it'll be interesting, to fellow episodes to have, a different point of view.
Well, when Allie gets back.
Yeah, then we'll have, we have a female.
Different perspective.
Different perspective.
Totally different perspective.
A female dependent. So yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, thanks guys for all the support. Social media below as always. On the road to not 20K now. Now we're on the road. 50K is the next.
Is that the next milestone?
I think we can hit 50K within 6 months.
I think if everyone that watches this video subscribes and then shares it and tells at least 3 people, we could do it.
Dude, that's a good marketing technique, man.
Boom. I'm not even a business manager.
You're not even. That's. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Social media below as always. We'll see you very soon. Bye. Peace.